been a month now since I retired and left the UK to go slow travelling around the world. And I did do an update when I'd been here for a week, but this is how I'm feeling now. It's a month on. Now, if you're new to my channel, my name is Zoe, and as I said, I retired from the UK and gave up my house, my businesses, everything, sold everything I owned, and just got on a plane with a suitcase and came with a one-way ticket to Chiang Mai in Thailand. And this is where I'm starting, and then I'm going to slow travel around Asia for the next year, and then let's see where we get to. And now I've been here a month, and it's kind of two things that because I was sort of thinking about is A, being retired for a month, and B, living in a different country for a month with a different culture, and also being on my own. Now, I know my circumstances are probably a little bit unusual to most people because I have this injury that occurred, well, that got worse, and so I'm not being able to walk a lot. And actually I was trying to go to the ATM around the corner this morning, and then it's opposite one of my favourite temples, the one where we were dancing with the ladies, which was really cool. And I was going to go and sit there and film this video there. But I got downstairs, put my rubbish in the bins, and I thought, oh my days, I can't walk any further. So I had to come straight back up to my apartment. So I'm sat here with my legs propped up, back to my usual position. Anyhow, so how am I feeling? So, I mean, there's lots of different things. So let's talk about being retired first. I don't miss work. I don't miss the gym. I thought perhaps I might miss and I think I said this when I was running the gym, is I found it very tough to run as a business and very time consuming, because even though I was only open for a few hours a day and only had to go in for a few hours a day and look after members and clean and things, there was all the other things to do, like managing the insurances, managing health and safety, the landlord, all of those things that you have to deal with. And it was time consuming, and actually we're getting very little reward for it at the end. And no, so I don't miss that. I do miss, and the one thing I did enjoy about having the gym was the interactions you have with people. I really felt like I was helping people in the gym. You know, I had new members come in and you were helping them with their exercise routines, but also you were helping them with their day-to-day lives, because for some reason they talk to gym owners, and you know, I had a lot of people that would just come and pour out their troubles to me, and I kind of missed that bit, because I kind of had, that was the one thing I think that gave me a purpose at the gym that I felt was worthwhile. So I kind of missed that that aspect of it. But actually being physically in the gym and cleaning the machines and dealing with all the nonsense that goes with owning a business, no, I don't miss it at all. I do have some overflow work that I've been getting on with. I still have the taxes to finish, and I had to finish the VATs when I got here, and I need to properly close down the business, and still arguing with some of the utilities. And so me and my son own the gym, but we also have the boot camp businesses, and we have online businesses, which my son is running, but I do some of the back office work for him. So I've been doing that, but it's about half an hour a day. So I don't miss working per se, but it does mean I have an awful lot of time to myself now. Now, I would have been exploring more and going out and trying to meet people and stuff, which I haven't been able to do because I've kind of been stuck here resting this injury. And I've got to be careful here because there's less work to do. I can't get out and about and go and see things, you know. And even when I was living at home, you know, I would always go for a walk out by the river, or I'd go and explore like the Cotswolds, go and see places, and I can't do any of that. So, and because there's less work to do and things, I've just got to be careful that I don't end up just being a couch potato. I mean, I've watched a lot of Netflix, But I think I've watched everything that I would want to watch on there now. And, getting bored, and I have been getting all my knitting. I've nearly finished that. I try to get that done before I go. Yeah, but it's been tricky in that sense, in that it's hard to find your feet when you're not doing what you thought you would be doing when you got here. So I'm not like going around temples, and I'm not going out and meeting people. And so it's very different to what I expected it to be. Someone asked me if I was lonely stuck in this apartment on my own all the time. Actually, I'm not, because I've always, I've lived on my own for, nearly 20 years now. I mean, the boys were with me until the last 8-9 years where I've been totally on my own. I'm kind of used to it, and I kind of like it. I like being able to sort of do what I want. I get up when I want, and I've got to be careful of that because I'm like, I've got nothing to do today. There is a tendency to sit in bed and watch YouTube too much. So I'm like, nope, get up, get showered, get dressed, do something. Now I'm hoping this injury clears up soon, and then I can just get back to trying to have this slow travel life that I set out to do. But I haven't given up. I've just got to find different things to fill my day. So like I said, I've got my knitting, I've got my reading, I've got my YouTube videos to make, I've got a little bit of work to do, Netflix, and just filling the days, cooking for myself. That gives me something to do. Yeah. So it's a difficult one to answer because it's not what I expected it to be. I got too much time on my hands. So that kind of answers sort of both questions, really, doesn't it? In that retirement. And this was one thing I always knew when you retired, and I think this is the point when you retire, is that you don't end up in this position where you've got nothing to do and you just sat around bored and twiddling your thumbs, which unfortunately is what's happened here. But that's not my plan, and I think it's very important that you have something to do when you retire and something to look forward to. It doesn't have to be like traveling or slow traveling the world. Whether you're into golf or you're into like joining a club, learning a language, learning new skills, even like doing an open university course, something that's interested you. I think you just need something to do when you retire, because when that work just suddenly stops, you just don't want to be left with this void, because honestly, it is too easy to just sit and do nothing. And I don't know if you're like me. If I'm bored, it's not a good place for me to be in my head, because when I'm bored, I don't want to do anything. I get into this vicious cycle, and I'm just like, I'm too bored to do this. I'm too bored. I can't be bothered. And I'm trying really hard not to get into that headspace. So I think that's important if you retire. Whatever you're planning to do in your retirement, is make sure you have something to do. I've been trying to teach myself new skills with videos. I don't think I've learned much. It's so conflicting when you watch different videos or you watch different things. But I have been planning future travels, been spending some time on that, researching different places that I might want to go when I get to the end of my current itinerary. So it's not too bad. I've been, going up to the pool for a bit, reading my book up there. Yeah, I try to, if I don't go up to the pool, at least sit on the balcony for a bit, get fresh air. It's tough. But do I regret coming abroad? No, not really. You see, I thought I'd really miss my house and my home. And you would think as well that the fact that I'm injured would make me miss my home more. Because, at least I would have been in the comfort of my sofa with all my lovely belongings around me. But funnily enough, as a self-confessed hoarder that had stuff everywhere and now has nothing, I actually don't miss it. surprisingly, I mean, I miss like some things, like I miss seeing my photos and things, but I just flick through my phone. I did, save a lot of them onto my phone. If I want to see them, I flick through them. But I don't miss home. And because I don't have the home now and I don't have the attachment to it, I'm actually okay that I came abroad. And I'm glad I came abroad, because if I had been sat somewhere, well, if I'd have stayed in my house, I would have really just been sat there doing nothing and thinking, oh, I wish I'd have just gone anyway. And if I had sold my house and then stayed in the UK to deal with this injury, I would have been paying a lot more than I'm paying to be here for a nice place to live. And I just wouldn't have been able to afford it. I can't afford to rent for 3 months in the UK. It's crazy cost. I mean, I suppose I could have stayed living in my van, but it's getting cold now, and I don't think that would have helped my injury. So, no, I'm glad I came here. Oh, and the weather. It's warm here. I don't need my jumper. I don't need a coat. I did need my umbrella the other day. I got wet when I went to the shop. So, thankfully I did have my umbrella. It was, well, I am here in rainy season. But it was okay. It wasn't cold. So I don't miss the weather. Sorry, don't miss the weather. It's so British, aren't I? Got to bring up the weather. And just talking about finances, when I put my plan together to live this sort of lifestyle, I have a budget, and it's it's got to average £2,000 a month or less. And like, you got to remember, I have to pay flights. Like this month, I had my flight. Well, the beginning of this month, I had my flight from the UK to Chiang Mai, which is going to be the most expensive flight I probably take this year. But I've been surprised with how cost effective it is in Thailand. Even with my hospital bills, I think I've stayed within budget, and I'm just finishing that now. And I'll do a separate video on how much we spent in a month and whether we stuck to budget. I think we're within. But of course, then, we've got to put in the hospital costs, and also I have my vaccination costs in the UK. Not cheap. That took a big chunk out of my budget. But in general, I've been very surprised with how cost effective it is here. I think I'm probably spending too much on my groceries, but every time I go, I'm starting to learn and learn the ropes a bit. So I think that will get better as I go on. I mean, I've had a couple of takeouts and I've eaten a few restaurants. I try not to do takeouts too often. I find, they're very nice, but I don't think it's good for you. I think it's better to cook, and I make sure I'm getting my 5 a day. But I do have to say, the people here are so warm and so welcoming, and I've had no trouble sort of communicating with people, even though I don't speak any Thai and they don't speak English, especially in the area I'm in. It's a very local area. So if you saw my post, I went to the hairdressers, and so I was putting my rubbish out, and the salon is right across the road from here. So I thought, I'm going to go and see if she can give me a hair trim, because I was getting fed up with these ratty bits that I had at the end. And I went in there. She was immediately welcoming, and we said hello in Thai, and then that was it. We had to get the phones out, and I just on the phone said, "Oh, can you just give my hair a trim, tidy it up?" And so we just conversed like that. But it didn't really matter. Yes, I know it is a little bit awkward. If I lived here full time, I would definitely, attempt to learn the Thai language more. But what it is if you're warm and welcoming, it's fine. Like she was just so warm and welcoming when I walked in there, and I think I was the same with her, and like smiling. Is then if you're going to be like that with each other, it just makes it easy to communicate, even if you have to do it via the phone. Anyway, we worked it out, and she gave me the most amazing hair wash with the best head massage I've ever had. It was, oh God, it was delightful. Oh, ladies, it was just brilliant. And then she, I think she did a nice job with my hair, and I was very happy. And at the end, she said it was 200 baht, which is £4.60. I had to ask her again. I thought, that's too cheap. £4.60 for a haircut. Goodness gracious. I can't get over that. I really can't get over that. And obviously I gave her a tip. And then this week also I went to the supermarket, and when I go to the supermarket I get lots of big bottles of water. It saves me having to carry it any other time. And then I had my shopping, and I call a Grab to come and get me, and I'm terrible. I keep waiting in the wrong place. I don't really understand where I'm supposed to wait. And so I'm in the way of everything, and then he has to stop in the way of everybody, and I feel terrible. And he could see I was struggling with my leg. He gets out the car, he helps me, puts all the shopping in the car, really helps me. I have to go and take the trolley back, he waits for me. I come back to my apartment, and he doesn't have to help me, but he took all of the shopping out of his boot and put it inside for me. I mean, how kind is that? He didn't have to do that. And I know that I was taking extra time of his, and he could have had another customer. So I felt a little bit bad. So obviously I gave him a tip to cover it. But he didn't have to do that. And with Grab, he doesn't know that I'm going to tip him until later. So, he didn't know that. He just did it. And that's what I'm finding, is that people here just seem to want to help you. Even people in the building, like, they're holding the door open for me. They're moving things out of my way so that I can hobble around them easier. I just get that sense that people are so warm here, that it makes me feel very welcome. So I don't know if I'd have felt that at home. I always find people in the UK are always so busy, they haven't got time to consider anybody else. Just running around, aren't we, all the time? So, I've been blown away by the kindness of strangers here and just how warm they are. So I guess that's one of the joys of slow travelling, isn't it? I'm not here on holiday, I'm not in a resort, I'm living in the middle of this local area, and they're getting used to seeing me around, just hobbling around the bins. So far, I have no regrets about leaving the UK and retiring. I think I'm still in the adjustment stage. I need to really get into my groove still. And I think as this injury heals, that will get easier. And, I'll find my pattern. But I don't regret leaving. I still think I made the right choice for me. Yeah, I'm looking forward to my future plans. So I go to Malaysia in a couple of weeks. I'll be there for 3 months. Then I'm going to Cambodia for a month, then Vietnam for 3 months, and then South Korea, which I'm very much looking forward to. So I've got lots to look forward to. But I definitely will come back to Chiang Mai, so I can experience it more fully. But yeah, so I'm feeling more relaxed than I was than in the first week I was here. I was feeling a bit lost in the first week, but I did reach out. I actually had a friend call me, video call me. I've been in touch with my brother, I've been in touch with my family, and try and keep that connection going. I do find, other than family and a couple of friends, I don't really hear from many other of my friends, but I think I spoke about this before on a video about, friends can be very transient, can't they? When you're not around, you're out of sight, you're out of mind. But that's just life, and that's just human nature. I don't, I'm not annoyed about that at all. But yeah, need to just keep a conscious effort to keep in touch with the family. Yeah. Because then otherwise I think it could get quite lonely, if you completely lost touch with your life. Because your family is still your life. Anyway, oh gosh. Well, my knee's starting to feel better now. I've got back and I've rested it a bit. I don't think I could, I don't know what's wrong with it. The doctor does say walk a little bit outside, Honestly, I don't think I would have got very far today. I don't think I would have got to the hairdressers today. How strange. I've been doing my exercises. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling on about my thoughts on retirement and Chiang Mai and being abroad on your own. 1 month in, we still got a lot of adventuring to do. I'm still very upbeat about everything. Is what it is. Got to make the most of things, always got to look on the positive. Always look on the positive side. Now, if you've retired, how did you find your first month? It's a little bit of a shock, isn't it, to have nothing to do all of a sudden and having to find things to do. But how did you feel it? Let's hear what you think. Now, I also need to give a very, very big thank you to the kitchen fitter, our Polish joiner who was, God, my goodness, gave me a big super this week. And, I don't expect anything from you guys, and it just meant so much, and he said to go and have a drink. So I'm going to spend that wisely. It was, Cora, it was so touching. You really didn't have to do it. But thank you so much. It was so lovely. All of you were lovely, though. Oh, I'm going to have a cup of tea, I think. Oh, I've got to go. Go and boil the kettle. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll catch up with you all soon. Take care. Ciao.